What is up? That is right. We are back with Sixth Man Extra in week 21. As we did, we've just finished up the last of the regular season draft. Some happy times, some sad times. And it's going to be the last shoot your shot of the regular season. We've been monitoring it all week, and we realised that a couple of players actually haven't played enough games. I happen to be one of those players. House of O3 happens to be one of those players. So what do we do? We said, okay, between the other four GMs, come up with a question, and there's going to be a group decision. It's going to be tense. It's going to be tense. Ed actually came up with the question. So Ed, could you lead this for me? Is that all right?
Yes, sir. So this is the main event. This is the final shooter shot we're going to do of the regular season to tie it all up so everyone's played the same amount of games. And as Alex mentioned, we've got House of O3 versus the Sixth Man. The question is, KD spoke about Luka after Dallas played Brooklyn, and KD said that Luka sees things before it even happens. So, House of O3 and the Sixth Man, what is something you see happening before anyone else can see in the playoffs? Minute each. I'll let you. Oh, I've got my timer here, but I won't do the poor Bray 10 seconds left. I'll just let you guys have to judge that. It's just going to be something that sticks with Bray for forever now. So yeah, sorry, Bray. So first one, say I can choose whether I want to go first or second.
Aye.
Alex, where do you want to go?
I want to go second.
Cool. House of O3, your time start. You ready?
Now that I'm off mute, I am ready. Yes, sir. Yes, I am. Indubitably.
In 3, 2, 1, vamos.
Okay. You made me sound Spanish. Okay, so what do we like here at the NBA and the Sixth Man? It is storylines. We love the big storylines and players coming out and putting on the show. One of the tensest storylines right now, especially for me, House of O3, is those Hornets getting into the playoff position. For me, my prediction, even though it's not quite the playoffs yet, but the Hornets will make those playoffs, will win that one game, make the playoffs, but also it's a chance for us to see a new hooded Melo, okay? A new playoff Melo. And I think we're going to see a big performance out from LaMelo Ball, just solidifying that vying position for the Rookie of the Year point. We'll see how it goes, but I'm predicting big things for these Hornets players, and we are going all in.
Cool. Thank you very much, George. Mr. Ward, ready?
Stay ready and gotta get ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, George, let me set the scene for you. Game 6, number 3 seed, the Clippers, up against the number 6 seed, the Blazers, round 1. Western Conference playoffs. Game 6 in Portland with the Clippers leading 3-2. The game is tied. It's 1:15 all. Lillard's just come in the lane. He's missed the floater. Pandemic P's dribbling the ball down. He's holding for the last shot. The clock's ticking down. Rondo's in the corner. He's staring at the Blazers bench. With Dame guarding him, PG hitting a couple dribbles, transitions into a step back three for the win. As he shoots it, he yells at Dame, "That's a bad shot." Shot goes in. He walks away, tapping his wrist, mimicking the Dame time celebration. And that will be the last game that the Blazers core play together. Lillard doesn't get traded, but the Blazers are going to blow up. Tears are flooding for Jordan. PG gets his revenge story and finally turns up in the playoffs. That's what's going to happen.
Gosh, Alex, the way you're looking at your screen there, made you look like you're actually watching the game. You're like commentating as it was going on. Yep, so that's happened. Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay.
That's a bad shot.
Two really interesting arguments, and especially things that may not necessarily anticipate. For example, Portland blowing up after the season, and the rise of a new hooded Melo. George, love the fact that you went for Charlotte, because again, we're not expecting much. The one thing I thought was missing is maybe give us some stat lines. What do you think? What do you think Melo could have potentially done? That's the one thing I was missing. And for that, and for the storyline, well. Did you have a bit of help with that storyline over there? Sounded a bit Hollywood-esque there. I think I'm gonna have to give it to you, Mr. Ward.
Thank you. It is a group decision, as you know, so that is one vote. Yes, I did some extensive research, and I did watch that Dame replay over again, George.
All right.
Better.
Calm down, DiCaprio. Calm down.
Yes. Sorry to add salt to the wounds there, George.
I think I love the hooded Melo, but it's just that I could picture it the way Alex was describing it. It was like I was laying on a beach, and then I could just envision the shots taking place, and it was majestic. And Pandemic P as well. As lockdown ends, Pandemic P finishes off Dame and the Blazers. I'm going to have to go for Alex.
That was the most unrealistic thing. Paul George being good in the playoffs. That was the most unrealistic thing. Saying, "Oh shit, he's actually going to do something."
Prediction of the two.
Yeah. Exactly. That's. What do you think, Wilds?
I just feel that the Clippers have a lot more on the line. Melo, it's his first season, and he has already proven a lot of people wrong. Whereas I feel like this really is kind of like, obviously, people are always going to pay Paul George to play basketball, but people were obviously really down on him this year because of, time after time failures in the playoffs. So I just feel from a motivational point of view, and the fact that it was laid out to us by Mr. Ward, that is the vote I'm casting as for Alex.
Well, just like the Hornets in the first round, it's not a sweep. I'll give you a win. I'll give you a win. I'd love to see LaMelo go out and get a game, and also I'm dying on the Anthony Edwards isn't the Rookie of the Year hill, so I feel like I've got to go with LaMelo to kind of solidify my claim.
Change his name to Sweet Bray. Change it to Sweet. Come on, man, let's do it.
Lemon Pepper Bray.
George, I will say this, bro. I think Portland are blowing up next year, though. I legit.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
Terry.
I can't see us going through it again. Like I've been saying this over and over again. Like ever since, like the podcast where KD mentioned, like you guys know you ain't winning everything. Like since then we were stubborn and we were like, yeah, we're gonna prove you wrong. But now time is going on and like we need to make some big moves.
Yeah, Terry's out. CJ as well, maybe.
Yeah.
What would you take for CJ? We got a couple draft picks. We got a couple Bulls picks that you may.
No, you need a player. Need a player for Dame. They're not the Rockets. They're not the Rockets. I've seen how this plays out. We've all just watched it.
Get Bray in the front office.
We've got some centers as well. You've been struggling with Nurkic. We've got some centers you could use. Just saying.
Oh
just
no,
saying.
not that.
I think Bray could get a job in the NBA just for blowing teams up. Like they bring Bray in to just blow it up.
The Bray blow up.
I'm Masai Ujiri 2.0. That's how we started blowing teams up.
It's gonna be awesome.
Ed, what does that mean for the standings, my man?
I've lost 3 straight now.
I forgot this was an Excel.
You didn't get the sweep though. I thought I was gonna sweep you. That's a bad shot.
Actually, it was a good shot. I was about to say that. Paul George said it was a good shot. You can't change that. That's not realistic.
He's so salty in that press conference, isn't he? He's so salty. I don't care. Well, anyway, said it's a bad shot. He's so angry. No, but do you actually? That is like one of the coldest things. He literally said goodbye to a franchise. That's it.
My goodness.
You think about it, it's crazy.
And the memes afterwards were just beautiful.
Oh, the hit where he's like...
Yeah, that Dame face is amazing.
So good.
So, we have got the final leaderboard for Shoot Your Shot. And we'll start from 6th to 1st. Keeping on brand. In 6th place, we've got Salt Bray. We all know he... I don't know if Salt sinks, but it feels like it does with Salt Bray.
It started. I'm looking at this, realizing it started so well. The last 5 times I've lost 5 in a row. How?
Those are some Timberwolves numbers there. Those are some peak Minnesota numbers right there.
I'm absolutely throwing.
Look for the
He's trying to get that lottery pick, man.
I'm literally tanking. I'm literally out here tanking.
And speaking of losing 4 or 5 in a row, in 5th place we've got House of O3. Sorry, George. It started well, but then you blew it up halfway through as well.
I had to let the Young Bucks win, you know.
And then we get to the most interesting one, Wildy, who loves a little win-loss, 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 win-loss.
Oh, yeah.
He loves a little bounce-back story. He's the opposite of never getting too high, never getting too low. He gets super excited off his wins, and then I don't know what happens. But yeah, Wildy is 4th and 5 and 6. Then we've got equal 2nd place. We have got Matt and Alex. We've got the Lancashire Lambert and the 6th man, both with a 6 and 5 record.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I'm first with 8 and 3. So yeah, sucks.
You absolutely hated me. I can stand.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, you hated it.
Oh.
You hated
So
it.
bad. I wonder how that happened, Ed.
Okay.
It's hard being the host, isn't it, Ed, huh?
No, you know, like I don't like this positivity. I had like a review the other day, and like they were giving me like when they say something positive, I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm just used to like fighting back and like having to like argue. I don't know what to say. And like this, I mean, you're the ones who fucking voted, so sucks for you.
It's not my fault. It's not.
I tell you what, guys. Maybe we do a seed shoot your shot in the playoffs. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe it's a knockout. We'll see. We've got a lot of stuff to do, haven't we? We've got a lot of stuff. Speaking of a lot of stuff, we have come up with a segment to wrap up this season, as it's our last regular season episode, end of season awards. But because we wanted to be different, everybody has come up with their own award, which is really interesting. Nobody knows what awards they are. Some people have put their teams, but I mean, there might be some wild stuff. There might be some bathwater comments in here. Who knows? It's going to be pretty wild. I'm going first. So, right. So my award is called the Foster's Good Call Award. As I'm the 6th man, I've managed to get a sponsor. The best beer in the game, Foster's.
Oh,
a big time move.
Stop.
Foster's. Disclaimer: Foster's is not a good beer. Please don't drink it. It's not nice. But
it is Australian.
You tell Australians that you're not going over there. I'll tell you that.
What's
much.
their tagline? Oh yeah, it is a good call. I thought
Good
it
call.
was cool. As well. Yeah, I thought
Foster's
Cool.
Good Call. So that's
Good
the
call.
Good Call Award. So my award is based on the response to the NBA survey. You remember that at the start of the year, which they asked the GMs before the season a number of questions in regards to players, coaches, rookies, etc., etc., etc. So my award will be linked to which question did they get spot on. So the nominations are: which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Which one player acquisition will make the biggest impact? Which rookie was the biggest steal in the NBA draft? And the winner is: which one player acquisition will make the biggest impact? They voted for Chris Paul at 44%. Drew Holiday was in second, 33%, and Serge Ibaka in 7%. Just to also recap with the other nominations, I didn't want to give it away. Which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? They voted for Damian Lillard with 32%. Dame has scored 144 clutch points this season, the highest in the NBA. 18 threes down the stretch, and has a plus minus of 87, which is higher than any other player.
Wow.
So, right?
87 is massive for a plus minus.
And rookie was the biggest steal in the NBA draft. Can anybody guess who they voted for?
Halliburton.
Tyrese.
Yeah.
Correct. This player was number 4 on the rookie ladder. He's averaging 13, 3, and 5, 41% from 3. And his 3.36 assists to turnover ratio has helped change the culture of the franchise. So that is my award wrapped up. Yeah.
Going to make the playoffs.
I think it's beginning to change the culture. He's making good plays.
He's helping. A weird Tyrese Halliburton thing. It seems like he really wanted to go to the Kings. Like he worked his way to the Kings by like intentionally not working out for teams, or like not, I guess, tanking the workouts for certain teams. He wanted to be at the Kings for some reason. They haven't done well this season. I hope for his sake that they do better in the future.
Well, speaking of Mr. Bray, you're up next with your award, aren't you?
I am. And I don't know if anyone's actually paid attention to what's been going on here in the UK today. But it's very on topic. It's the British Summertime Award, because for people who haven't been here, 1 second it'll be beautiful sunshine and then it will piss it down with rain. And that's what today's been. I actually played basketball at lunchtime today and I had to shoot my free throws in the rain. Putting in that work. But this is for the team that is just hot and cold, can't make their mind up. Are they a good team? Are they a bad team? I'll give you my nominees, and then I'm going to ask for some honourable mentions from you guys. So, surprise, surprise, there's two teams which I've been following this year: the Boston Celtics and the Sacramento Kings. And the third nomination, not a team I was following, but the New Orleans Pelicans, I'm putting there as well. As a hot and cold team, we don't know if they're good, we don't know if they're bad. Have you guys got any honourable mentions for this one?
Miami Heat.
Really? I think they're like. We know what you think.
I mean, yeah, I think Miami Heat, man. They've been really inconsistent.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I think they're good.
You have to put Wizards in there. I mean, because they started 15-3, and then ever since then they were 27 and 21. So with the start they had, you had just written them off straight away. But then, in those last 40 or so games, over 500. It's crazy.
I do agree with you. My only rationale for leaving them out is that it started off as a cold winter in the start of the season, and it has blossomed into a beautiful spring in the last 16 games, because they are actually like a legit good team now. Whereas, some of these other ones, Jesus, I can't figure it out, guys. I can't figure it out.
Do you need a drum roll?
Yeah. My winner for this award, the team that is the most hot and cold and has caused me the most heartache, is the Boston Celtics. Yeah. Oh my word. They do actually look really good sometimes, and sometimes they just don't, and it's such a disappointment. And they made a really dead trade as well, and I'm just so disappointed because I drafted them so high and it hasn't panned out. At least with the Kings, we had a track record. I should have known, guys. I should have known.
Should have known, but you did, and you'll be drafted fifth. You'll be ahead of me at least. You've got one person ahead of this. So, yeah, we're gonna go to the other map in the cream couch behind you, sitting in there. It actually, to be honest, I haven't even spotted this. This is just a cream room, isn't it? There's just one guy.
All right, I've been here 3 days. I haven't had a chance to
be fair, man. I've got a lot of cream behind me as well. There's just a lot of cream going on. Your award, man.
Yeah, my award is the Man of Steel award. So this is taken from the sport of rugby league, which I'm sure many of you are. If there's any listeners in the US, they won't have a clue. Maybe some of you guys, as you're all from the South, you may not all have a clue as well, as it is a predominantly sport from the North. The Man of Steel is given to, it is the best person in rugby league. That's their player of the year. But it's more on who's the toughest, who's the hardest, who's really going to grind out and just put the team on their back. So I've taken a few things into account. Games started, total minutes played, just general, just grind and true grit. And my nominees are Nikola Jokic, Julius Randle, and Russell Westbrook.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Other honourable mentions include Giannis and Jimmy Butler.
Interesting. What about TJ McConnell? No? There you go.
Shut up about TJ McConnell.
Hey, put respect on my boy's name. Let's talk about TJ Slams.
Nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
So my winner for the Man of Steel I'm going to have to give it to Julius Randle. He has really put the Knicks, he's taken them from just a team who was just always finishing out of the playoffs, and he's really driven them to that fourth seed now that they're currently in, and he deserved his all-star appearance, and he deserves an award. So, Julius Randle.
Well done, man.
Big props, Julius.
Honestly, best decision of the night so far, I think.
Love the award. Love the award.
Love the award. I loved it more, though, Matt. Me. I loved it a little bit more. Tell me more. I got him again. No, I didn't. Right. Man of Steel, I thought you were going to go Superman vibes with that. I can just imagine Shaq going most dominant center ever, in the commercial. But okay, cool. Jord, Jesus, this award. I mean, I don't even want to say it. You can say it yourself. It sounds fun.
So this award is, I like to call it the Golden Brick Award. If you go on Google and Google Golden Brick, wow, try saying
Should
that
I?
5 times fast. It actually means something which has been overvalued and is actually
This
terrible.
isn't
I
like
thought
Fournier,
that-
is it?
I thought that was a bit harsh, so I flipped it as well. So to anything with teams which I thought were just valued poorly, whether they ended up for better or worse, being good or bad. So yeah, the Golden Brick Award. So my nominations for this season go to the Rockets, the Knicks, and finally the Suns.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like the Golden Brick. I can imagine an award with an actual
Yeah.
Golden Brick. Like,
All right.
who shoots the worst? There you go.
Who shoots the worst but's got the biggest paycheck? Here you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Golden
Yeah.
Brick.
The Knicks might shoot the worst. To be fair, let's be honest. They're can be a bit cold on offense sometimes.
Uh-oh. Ed's
I agree.
Oh.
I agree with Bray. No, I 100% agree with Bray. I think the Knicks are very overrated, and if I were you, I wouldn't pick them highly in the draft at all. If I were you, so yeah, that's just my thoughts. I agree with you, Bray.
That sounds so backhanded. Like, yeah,
It is backhand.
we've done it, but here we are.
Right.
No, it's just I don't want anyone to draft them.
So
I'm fine,
yeah,
I'm
I think I'm gonna have to give this one to the Knicks, mainly because if you look back at our draft episode, how we were like, oh no, Ed's got the Knicks, and then we were all laughing at him, and then we were like, oh. So the massive turnaround. So yeah, for this, the Golden Brick definitely has to go to the Knicks, and I definitely feel like they've shocked the NBA community with that one. So yeah, for me, it's gotta go to the Knicks.
world. Go shock the world. Yeah, no, and also when the
Go
Knicks
on.
when the Knicks were doing really well, all of us were like, never last. Never.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the way out.
Never
the
last.
whole season.
They're not gonna
But
do
now, but also we're all like, yeah, the Knicks are really good. But like, we shouldn't even be like that. We should be embarrassed.
We've spent
Honestly,
16
terrible.
weeks trashing the Knicks. Like, it's only the last month everyone's going, oh.
Oh, Knicks
that.
are good. Yeah. Well, anyway, okay, cool. Thanks, George. So
No worries.
the Knicks are taking home a lot of awards
I know,
this
man.
evening as we head to our Atlanta correspondent, James Wadsworth.
100%. Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. The Knicks will definitely not win my award. My original one was extremely unoriginal, and I saw yours, and I've just come up with something very quickly, which is better. Mine is the Salt and Shake Award. Because it's teams that suck, and no matter what you add to them, they still sucked and did not do very well. So my nominees are the Pacers, the Bulls, and I'm going to go Cavs as well. All East teams, because honestly, in terms of what I've been adding, if there was any team from the West, weirdly, it would kind of be the Blazers. I'm not banging on them for no reason, George, but they added a lot in free agency, which people thought would do a lot more for them, and unfortunately it didn't work out that way. So it's not really their fault, but it's just kind of, that's the formula. But I left them off of my shortlist for the reason that they're in the Western and they're still, they're in a mix because of, you got your boy Dame there.
Yeah.
So Any honourable mentions from you guys before I tell you my
I
ultimate?
mean, you're spot
Bray's
on
whole
with
roster.
the Bulls. You're spot on with the Bulls there because they added a lot and it didn't really pan out for them there.
And they got worse.
Bray's
It was.
Bray's got squares. He's got all the dead flavors, isn't he? All the crisp that nobody wants.
I mean, it's the very fact that it has to be the Bulls. They are my winner. They were, they were edging towards playing games and maybe making some noise, and then they got one of the best centers in the game and just went down the toilet for some reason. So the Bulls are my salt and shake winner. I'm afraid. that is
Still making the playoffs though. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Ed, if the Kings can still make it, the Bulls can too.
Yeah, Kings ain't making it. I will say this though, guys. I just want to ask you, what is the worst crisp? Like, what's the crisp that you're like, oh, I just can't, I don't get it.
This might be controversial. I don't think cheese and onion is all that. I don't really rate cheese and onion.
I don't.
But that's flavour. Are you asking me what brand?
Yeah,
give me a brand.
And Pringles. I don't get
Excuse
Pringles.
me?
They're dry, no flavour.
Wow.
He must have seen
Pringles.
one.
I do not like Pringles. They are a stale crisp.
Is this because I named the Blazers as a salt and shake?
Nah,
This is turning into all death. This is turning into all death.
George, you not know the slogan? Once you pop, you can't stop. Fact.
Maybe
I can stop. I'll stop at the first one. I'd rather even eat a Jacob's cracker, my friend.
Sorry?
Giving me dry mouth.
Oh, I've got one, and it relates to Jordan's as well. Sensations, chili. What the fuck?
Thai sweet chili.
Thai sweet chili. Fucking shit. It's not nice.
Oh,
Get all that
Fine,
sweet and
they're
sour
fine.
stuff out of here.
Oh,
Crisps aren't
right.
even that nice anyway, so fuck Sensations.
That's a lie. I mean, we got a lot
Whoa.
going on. There's a lot going on out here.
Oh my god!
Well, a vendetta against Walkers from Ed. Fuck Walkers.
Fuck that.
Lays for all you Americans.
Matt, give us the view from up north. What's the favourite crisp?
My opinion, this is a wild one. I think Doritos are overrated.
Interesting.
Too much dust. You're coming out with too much dust. I want to be in and out. I don't want to be having to wash my hands after I've eaten a packet of crisps. If I'm out and about and I don't want this dust sticking to me anywhere. Imagine if you're just eating a packet of Doritos and someone imagine LeBron James walks up to you while you're eating a packet of Doritos. You can't shake his hand. Before you go and shake his hand. And that looks weird. You see before you shake someone's hand.
That's an excellent point, and for the same reason, What's-Its or Cheetos.
Have you guys never done a crush and pour?
Oh no, the crush and pour.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Oh, okay.
Where's that from?
How'd you pour again, Wildy? How'd you pour? How'd you pour and drink a Coke at the same time?
No.
Or maybe eat a churro. How'd you eat a churro?
Let me tell you.
my memory.
he's not Charles Barkley, I'll tell you that much. All right, cool. Let's go to the last award. Ed. Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look a bit into the future, and this is originally so it's called Watch Out, and originally inspired. I was listening to a bit of 2 Chainz just to a central playlist, and I forgot how much of a banger Watch Out was. But instead, actually, it could also be the RKO award. So watch out, RKO out of nowhere. So the award is team out of nowhere who will come to perform next year. So teams that are outside the playoffs and could potentially cause some noise next year. So it has to be something out there because Knicks weren't expected. Suns, again, they made that less late push, but they weren't necessarily expected. And the 3 unexpected teams who I think could potentially maybe take a leap next year are the Orlando Magic, the Chicago Bulls, and Bray's favorite, Minnesota Timberwolves. So those are the 3 nominees. Quite out there. And the winner is...
Don't do it.
The Orlando Magic. Yeah, no, it is. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I've got the number one pick. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's the Magic. They are going to make the playoffs next year. They've had all these injuries. Isaac's been out. Fultz has been out. We're going to draft somewhere in the top 5, and then we're going to get the Bulls draft pick as well. We've got some cap room as well. We've got the trade exception from Fournier. We are going to be making moves. So CJ, if you want a nice little role here, we've got some assets to give to Portland. Whoever else wants to come, who needs some trade, who needs some assets, we've got you covered. Also, just to speak for the other nominees who are just there for taking part, we've got, I mentioned Minnesota. Again, I think I'm just a little bit higher on Bray on what Minnesota can be. Towns has just been through a dreadful 18 months. Hopefully he gets some time to recuperate and really focus on his game, because we all know how talented he could be. The fact that Vooch is probably the 4th best center in the league says that, you know, Town should be there. Town should be higher, maybe even pushing Gobert level in terms of best centers, top 3 centers in the league. Russell, I don't know what's happened to D'Angelo Russell. He was so good in Brooklyn and did amazing for that team, and now he's in a better circumstance for himself with one of his best buddies in Towns. Maybe a bit more consistency in terms of being in a starting lineup might help him. And I'm higher on Anthony Edwards than some of the other guys. Again, he's not rookie of the year over LaMelo, but I do like what he can become and what he can provide for the team. So maybe I'm just higher on Timberwolves. I think they could do well. And also the coaching factor as well. They set their coach. Hopefully their new coach will be a little bit better. And then finally, the third team I put down was the Bulls. I don't know how many games Levine and Vooch have played with each other, because obviously of Levine's injury. They're now going to have to familiarize themselves with each other's game, and they've got some nice young pieces. I like Patrick Williams, and depending on what happens with that draft pick, that could help them if it does fall in the top 4. So I'm a bit more positive on the Bulls and what they can potentially do next year. So that was my 3 nominees for watch out.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice seeing you in not even in year 1 of the tanking, because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, we're going to make all these moves. You got a long road ahead of you, my friend. To tell you that much. God damn. And CJ's not coming. Yeah. Okay, so that wraps up Six Man Extra for the regular season. But I'm sure we're going to be doing many more extra games. There's a lot of stuff. We've got a lot in our library now. We've got the green list. We've got Where Do You Know Me From, which we haven't played yet. We've got Shoot Your Shot. Maybe we do some more of that. But we will be talking everything topical about the playoffs. But first, the playoff draft. So until then, that's when we will next see you. So yeah, from a 6-man, myself, and all the other GMs, it is over now.
Peace, y'all.
See you later.
Ciao.